Welcome back, Stasa23 here, back again with some knife therapy, and today I have my knife collection for 2022. This is part 2. If you hadn't seen the first one, I will leave a link, and I'll try to leave it up here as well, so you can click on it if you would like to check that out. We went for my most expensive knives, the last version, our last part, and now we're going to go on down. So right here we get started with two that weren't in the case because I had this one in the pocket actually. These were two gifts, like complete surprises from my wife. Did not ask for these, not something I would normally buy, but this first one, they're both William Henry custom knives, and this one is just breathtaking. It's got 10,000-year-old fossilized woolly mammoth inlaid right there, which is beautiful enough in my opinion. This is one of his B10 Lancet Reversos. It's got his own wave Damascus with the ZDP 189 core, and then you have these gemstones in there inlaid into the thumb stud and the button lock, and those are citrine gemstones. I'm sure y'all saw me unbox this a while back. Super lightweight, great little gentleman's carry knife. And like I said, I was super shocked whenever she gave me this, just out of the blue, just to be the awesome wife she is. Polished blade there. And I have it in a Richard Rogers slip for some reason. It just fits, and this thing's super soft. Love it. This one right here comes in, it's in the sheet that it comes with. That one also came with one of these, but I like the pocket clip. This one right here, she gave me for Christmas. Now this right here is a B12, his Pine Ridge. And look at this. Woo, look at that blade. Yep. The blade is his own Damascus as well. His signature copper wave. You could see the copper in there, hopefully. The core is VG5. I don't know really much about that still. I have to check it out. And then the gemstones in here are cashmere blue topaz. And the inlay on this particular one is Norway blue spruce pine cone. Super cool. So those two were gifts from my wife. And let's move on. All right, let's move into my Nanook 915 case. It's kind of like, it's one of those airproof cases. I love the Nanook cases. But let's get started. First in the case, we have the Quiet Carry Drift with the thumb stud and the diamond texturing on there. I absolutely love Quiet Carry knives. Absolutely, especially these Element series. This is Van X Super Clean, which takes a screaming sharp edge. You got nice thin blade stock. This knife will not rust on you. Titanium's not going to rust. The Van X is not going to rust. Titanium hardware, some marine grade stainless on the clip, and I think this hardware is Thai. I'm not sure. On phosphor bronze, super smooth action, comfortable. I love this knife. This is probably my favorite as of right now, until he comes out with something different. But that's my first Quiet Carry in the case. The second is the OG Drift. This was the original one that it came out with the blade hole, but it wasn't super easy to deploy it unless you use the Spidey Flick. I could easily get my finger in there for that, but there was a few little small issues that he ran across with like soft detents and stuff like that, but he fixed it all in this one. I still love this one. Same nice and thin blade stock. Look at that. Super slicers, Van X as well. I put an orange peel finish myself on here. There you go. I put a nice little deep Scotch-Brite orange peel right there, and then I OxyClean the scales just to give it that rustic look. So that is the second Drift. And my third Quiet Carry in the box is my Waypoint. Love this one as well. This one has been on so many camping outings. Anytime I'm in the woods, this is usually what I want to have in my pocket, because that's all what I'm going to cut or what I'm not going to wipe off the blade, and I don't have to worry about it because this is also Van X Super Clean titanium phosphor bronze washers. I added a KC Lynch wire clip replacement clip on this one. No, they do not fit out of the box. I modified this to make it fit. I opened up the hole and skinnied the prongs a little bit. So it took a little work, but love my quiet carry knives. I have a few more, but this is what's in the box that we're going through now. All right, next up is the A-Purvis Blades Xerx Integral. Nice integral. All that is one piece of titanium that they use to mill out this entire frame. So you got more rigidity because you have less working parts on there. You got this beautiful harpoon blade shape with a very deep hollow grind, nice flat grind right here, super comfortable in hand. Adam, if you're not following Adam, you definitely need to check him out on Instagram or follow his work, because he designed some really cool stuff, and I think it's a beautiful knife. Made for him by Riot M390 blade steel. Awesome knife. Don't know if you could still you could probably get them on secondary. I don't know if you could find them anywhere else right now, but that is the Xerx Integral. All right, the next up is my titanium ProTech Malibu with the milled titanium scales that have been 3D contoured, but they have not been lightened up in the inside. So it is a heftier knife. It's, I think, 4.4 ounces. The aluminum's a lot lighter, in my opinion. Nice, awesome action, comfortable ergos. You know, it's the same Malibu except with titanium and a lot more expensive. So a lot of people ask, which one would you choose? I would say get the aluminum one. You'd be a lot more happy with it. Stonewash blade on here, mother of pearl inlay right there. I just had never had a so-called, I guess, custom shop type ProTech, and I wanted to try one out. When my local shop had one, I decided to pick it up. There's a ProTech Malibu. Next up in the box is my Vero Engineering knife. First up is the Axon frame lock. I absolutely love the Axon. I didn't like the blade shape at first. It grew on me. This one has a hand rub satin finish. Absolutely stunning. The action on this thing is redonkulous. Made for him by Best Tech Knives. They do an excellent job. M390 blade steel on this frame lock version. This is the V2 clip. You see how it bends down right there. So the clip's fixed on there. I like this one whenever I want a heftier knife. I carried this one a ton this year. You can front flip it as well, and it has a little box on both sides. So that's the frame lock Axon. This is the first Axon that I picked up, though. This is a liner lock Axon with a belt satin finish on it. Natural micarta. This is a V1, and you can tell that by the clip. See how the ramp goes up and how you have hardly no space underneath that clip. It is a very tight clip there. M390. Now, when if I want to carry the Axon, but I want a nice lightweight one, I usually carry one of my micarta ones. And why did I say one? Because I got in on the pre-order for the V2 Axon. This time I went with the black blade, I think black DLC blade, black hardware. Once again, natural micarta. I got this one at Blade Show. I'd already had this one on order. And the difference on this one that I know of is you can see the clip is different. You can see how this one just goes straight up. This one goes up and over. And you can also see that there's a good bit more space underneath this one than the V1. And that is the Axons. Let's kind of scoot these over. And the first Vero I ever picked up was this. This is the Synapse V1 with a belt satin on the blade. You can see it gets a good bit of use. You can see that, I don't know, there's scratches up here at the front, but I use it a good bit. And I like how this is natural micarta. I don't know, for some reason, this must still be the resin in the middle, because this won't get any darker. This always stays the same. So I think it looks nice. It's unique. You got the stonewash bolsters. And as you can see, you got the old style clip where it's just going up like that. I bought me another clip to change these out, but I just haven't got to it. Super fidgety. This is probably my smoothest of the Vero knives. I love to spotty flick it with that little window back there. And then this top flipper works excellent as well. Comfortable. Missed out on the XL and the Mini, but a buddy of mine may sell me a Mini, so Hopefully. Blade show this year, I picked up another Synapse, whatever. This is also V1. You can tell by the clip. For the numbered, this one is 694, black washed on this one instead of just the black like that. You can see the difference in the color. You got the stonewash bolster, black hardware, and this is the in-cut carbon fiber. It looks a lot more attractive in person. It's a little muted on camera, but love me some Vero Engineering knives. Next up is my Enrique Pena knife, X series knives. This is the X series Lanny's clip point. Probably my favorite of all the X series he did. This one was a Knife Works, GP knives exclusive with the black canvas mic-card. I think it's just so sexy. Blue titanium hardware on these. Super comfortable, and I like the size of this one compared to the next three that I'm going to show y'all. Next up, we have the X Series sway back with the OD green canvas micarta, and you can see there that the size difference. The Lanny's is just that perfect, in my opinion, length, and of course this is not going to sit right. Next up is the Apache. This is probably my favorite of the smaller ones like this. These are all front flippers. I don't have any of the kickstop ones. They're all in M390. This was in natural micarta. So I have the natural micarta, the green, black, and we got a little carbon fiber on the Zulu. I love this one as well, but I like this one as a dress knife. Comfortable. I had the jig bone trapper, but I sold that a while back. Next up is two Bokers that I actually have in here, and the first is the M4 Sherman. I picked this knife up just for nostalgia or just, as a showpiece, because this blade is made up of decommissioned steel from old World War II Sherman M4 Sherman tanks. And it was turned into Damascus by Chad Nichols into the ladder pattern. I think it's just absolutely stunning. You have burlap micarta on there, and then flip it over, and you have that like tank track pivot. Just looks really cool in my opinion. There's some things I wish they would have done differently, like made this titanium instead of steel, but oh well. And it comes in a cool display case. Another Boker that I actually picked up, probably the most expensive Boker I picked up in a long time, and that is the 2021 Rexford Collection Epicenter. They tried this one time in the Boker Plus line and absolutely failed. This one right here is stellar. The action on this knife is, ridiculously smooth. I did change the thumb studs on mine so I could have double lugs and so I could Spidey flick it. But other than that, I love the knife. I'm not sure exactly who's making what Boker factory. It says, I think it said China. I don't know. Feels like an Italian-made one. But that is the Epicenter, and that's the M4 Sherman. Next up is my Chuck Geratis Toucan. I picked this up in Vegas for my birthday. The year everything went down, if you know what I'm talking about. After I went to the Vegas Custom Knife Show, I went to PVK Vegas, and I picked this up from from the special room, if you know what I'm talking about. 154 cm upswept Persian blade, has that Mayo look to it. I thought it was a Mayo at first because I didn't know, I had never seen one of these before. Nice and thin, very, very comfortable in hand because of the way that arcs down. It's not the best slicer in the world because you have a sharp, shallow grind on it right there, but it gets the job done, and it's super, super lightweight. I think for a custom too, I think it's like $600. I didn't even pay that for it. Very smooth action. It is on Teflon though. I know some people definitely wouldn't buy it because of that. Next up is the Tactile Knife Co. Rockwall. This one's in XHP. They also have them in 20 CV. I wanted to try it out because it's another American made, American produced knife company now, and they're doing cool things. I saw they have one in MagnaCut, and spoiler, I have a knife coming in MagnaCut pretty soon, a folder, and I cannot wait because I've only had a fixed blade in MagnaCut, and I loved it. I can't wait to see how it acts in a folding knife. You know, we'll be testing it. Nice and snappy action. It's got a proper heat treat on here. I think it was like 60 to 61. And when I say you could tell it was done properly, this thing, when I say it was so clean to deburr this, oh, very, very nice. After I reviewed it, I sharpened it up. Very, very nice. Next up is the Varga Knives VBR, which stands for Varga by Riot. Amazing action. Looks like a custom knife, kind of like a custom Hinder Spanto almost, but they're even nicer because you have a nice and thin hollow in this back portion, and then the flat right here is a flat grind. Comfortable ergos. You can choke up if you'd like. Milled titanium pocket clip. It's got the Arctic Storm fat carbon on there. I think that just really made this knife look super classy. Beautiful action. There's not much more to say about the Varga Knives VBR. Next up is one from Benchmade, which is Osborne 940-2001. Yeah, probably, you know, one of the most expensive 940s, but I will say this is the most perfect 940 I've ever owned, and I've owned a bunch of them. S90V steel on this one with the red accent thumb stud and back spacers. Super smooth out of the box, and perfectly centered out of the box as well, and actually has a good grind on it. It's very plain Jane looking, but I don't know, something about it I love. All right, next I got a few Microtechs, the SOCOM Elite clip point with the stonewash blade on there, M390 steel. This one's made in 2018. Of course, I hate the billboarding, but it's not a deal breaker for me. I've sharpened this thing about 5 times. In the beginning, it was very chippy and it wouldn't hold an edge good. It must have had a lot of burnt steel on it. Now, got through that burnt steel and it holds an edge nicely. It's one of the smoothest knives on, especially for being such a hard use knife. Got the external stops, so that'll give you a lot of side to side rigidity so you don't snap the knife, and then this taper coming down really lends to fill the hand out nicely. I know some people won't buy it because of the tip down pocket clip. I'm okay with that, being that it's such a bigger knife. It's I think a 9 overall, 4-inch blade at least. Definitely would be an excellent combat knife, which I think that's what it's made for. You got the traction inserts on it, lightweight for how big it is, and just build quality is amazing on them. I like that one so much that I picked up not long after a Tonto. This one is another 2018 and M390 right there. That's the stonewash one. This is the Apocalyptic in the Tanto. Like I said, one of the sexiest Tantos out there. You know, same goes with this one as well. Both beautiful knives, and both totally USA made. One more Microtech in behind it is the Microtech Ultratech. As you can see, it's a heavy user for me. I've been putting this one through the ringer. This one is in 204p with the distressed purple and the Apocalyptic drop point blade. I picked this one up at Smoky Mountain Knife Works on my visit there a couple of years back, I think it was. Actually in 2020. Next up, we have a Medford Slim Praetorian Tanto. I picked this up before they even dropped from that Medford guys, a booth at, that's what it's called, that Medford guy or something like that, at the Las Vegas Custom Knife Show. Kind of wish now I would have went with the the Slim Midi, just because that one is more aesthetically pleasing to me. Maybe I'll find somebody who wants to trade between the two. But This one, like I said, hadn't even been released yet. Medford asked me how I got it. And of course, as a reviewer, I knew that this one would be a more interesting watch than a Slim Mini that had already been out. That is the Slim Praetorian. Sorry, we have the McNeese Knives PM Mac 2. Mac 2, I think. 3-inch blade. This one, I love this knife. It's one of the smoothest little knives, 3-inch overall, USA made, 20 CV. I put this is an artisan clip there. You got his signature stippling in the lock cut out. Very, very smooth action. I love it. It's got this cool lasering on there, a misbehaving. And I picked this up at Blade Show last year. I cannot wait to get my hands on one of the 3.5-inch. I see those are making their way around. I heard I saw they fixed a lot of the issues like the edge termination and stuff like that. And I heard they're much better slicers. So can't wait to check one of those out. Next up is a very old knife, at least for my channel, and that is my Grayman Dua. I picked this one up, I think at least 7 years ago, maybe. Mine is now wearing a Will Moon custom regrind on there. I bought it to be a hard use knife because I was working as a chemical plant operator. And once I no longer did that anymore, I wanted to still have the knife because I love the knife, super smooth action. But I wanted it to be a good slicer. And now it's like, I think 10 thousandths behind the edge because it has a nice deep hollow. And then he turned it into this clip point for me. Absolutely stellar work with that beautiful satin finish. Whoop. This is one of the old school ones. You can see it's in CPM S30V. Now they come in 20 CV. And then it's got my anno on there. I just did a blue, I think, and a bronze after a stone wash. You can see the distressed bronze on the sides. And then my lightning anno on the pocket clip. And then I also changed the thumb studs because I didn't like how the thumb studs felt in my hands. But that is the Grayman Dua. All right, we got some Spydercos now. First up, the Spyderco Smock. With my acid stone wash, and I don't know if it's going to show up, but there's like copper flake and a little bit of copper to it, especially if you're in like the sun. It's wearing my edge on there. This thing came out ridiculously sharp. That's one reason why I love the Smock. This is just one of the S30V ones. Now I want to do this one to my M4 exclusive one because, yeah, that much better. It's wearing some frag titanium blasted and stonewashed Raylight scales. I know everybody always asks where I got this from the Raylight site. Yes, the Raylight people, the one that make the flashlights. And it's wearing a Casey Lynch deep carry pocket clip. Just think it's a sexy iteration of it right here. Looks very rustic and old, and of course it's super smooth. Next up, we have one that I've been having a long time, and that is my Spyderco Schleich Bowie. This is the OG. Look, you can see me. I wish I could replicate that mirror stone wash. I think it's such a beautiful finish. Look at that. XHP steel, contour titanium blasted. I love this knife. Absolutely love it. Stupid smooth. The knife has been one of my favorites Spydercos for a long time now. We'll bring this back out, the Smock, and got super excited to see they were bringing the Bowie back through Knife Joy. I missed out, but my buddy Justin from OCD for EDC sold me this one. So this is my user, and I kind of retired this one. I'll use this one every once in a while, but this one's an M390 with just a satin finish and the anodized blue. Somebody asked me the other day, which one do I prefer? And hands down, it's this one. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, because the action's not as nice. And this one, in my opinion, just looks nicer as well and feels nicer. I like these finishes, these two. And the M390, I'm not going to notice. I'm not using these like super hard. This one's wearing a Rips Garage Tech mill titanium clip. So there you go. And I got one more also coming from Mr. Marcin Schliess, who designed the Bowie, and that is the sway back. But this is no ordinary sway back. This is one of the one that I bought and chopped. I did a chop mod to it. I made it a lot smaller than the original. Don't have an original to show you the difference, but it's a good bit smaller. Perfect size for me. It's about a 7-inch, 7 1/4. I think I made it. Shorten the blade up. Then just did a dark bronze anno on the scales. It's not perfect, but I love the way it turned out. I had to re-tap to move the clip down in this MXG gear deep carry clip, and now I absolutely love this knife. Stupid smooth. Next up, we have the Microtech Stitch. This is a design collaboration with custom knife maker Borka Blades. There's his maker's mark right there. Just a wicked blade design. This is the automatic version. That's the only way you can get it from Microtech. Surprisingly, this harpoon right here, this grip is just super comfortable, super beefy. Look at those stop pins. I reviewed this one. I've reviewed a lot of the knives I've shown through both cases. So if you were wondering, just check it. Type in whatever knife you're wondering about, and put Stasa 23 after it, and if I reviewed it, it'll be there. Stitch. This one is in M390 aluminum scales. Just a tank of a knife. And this next one I haven't got to review yet, and this is the Ferrum Forge Archbishop 3.0. So far I've been loving it. I'm almost finished with the testing of this one. Love those softened and contoured titanium scales. Be lookout for the review of this one here soon. And this next one I haven't got to review yet, and this is the Ferrum Forge Archbishop 3.0. So far I've been loving it. I'm almost finished with the testing of this one. Love those softened and contoured titanium scales. Be lookout for the review of this one here soon. Alright, we got some more Spydercos, and next up we have the Spyderco Military, my only military I have left. This is a KnifeWorks exclusive in CTS 204P, pretty much the same as M390, wearing my edge. And man, I'll tell you what, whenever I have a bunch of cardboard to break down, this is the knife I go for. I mean, the 204P takes a wicked edge. Probably need to touch it up here soon because I used it not too long ago. Super smooth action. It's a big old blade, comfortable, like that choke up. I much prefer this over the PM2. I like the fact that it's such a big knife, and it's nice and lightweight. It's wearing I think that's MXG gear, deep carry clip. Don't love that, but I like it better than the original. Then we have two Shamans. First one is the Sprint Run Shaman in CPM crew wear with the natural canvas micarta. This is the one that I carry and use. It's starting to darken up nice, if you know what I mean, because at night they were very dried out. It's wearing an MXG gear deep carry clip, and I love this one. Nice and smooth action. Nice tank of a knife. And my local shop had this, so I decided why not. And that is the Sprint Run in Z Wear PM, pretty much the same as the crew wear. This one you can still see it's still light because I have not done anything with. I haven't been carrying this one as much because I carried this one. This one may get sold eventually, especially when I do my knife sale here in the next couple of weeks. We got 3 more Spydercos. I don't know if I better fit all these because they all happen to be big old Spydercos. There's the Shamans. And next up we have the OG Tough. This one is the older one in CPM 3V with a dimpled G10 and the dimpled lock side. It's a chimp design. Definitely love it or hate it design. And then the newer Tough DLT exclusive in CPM crew wear, black blade, black hardware. This is Rip's Garage Tech aftermarket linen micarta scales, black linen micarta, and it's got the non-dimpled gray lock side with the black I love that black finish they've been doing on this and the smock. Love that. And then one more, last one, picked up at Knife Works, if y'all watched those videos, and that is the older Spyderco Subvert. What a beast. This is a big old boy. This right here is a Natty Amour design. I think, was it Black? Yeah, Black Snow Customs. This is designed after his custom Sabotage model. And talk about a cool knife. That big old whopping recurve with, recurve with the big old whopping belly up here. Big old thick scales. Nice action. Comes out nice and fast. I'm gonna have to change this pot clip. It's the only thing that I don't like. And maybe some aftermarket scales as well. All right, the last two in this box and last two of part 2 are both Demkos, and we have the Demko 8020 MG with the blade hole and the thumb stud, G10, the JG10 scales. This is, I'm pretty sure this is a DLT exclusive in Crewwear. I think it was either, yeah, Crewwear element, no, Crewwear, I'm pretty sure. With the shark lock. Awesome shark lock, and then I put a deep carry Pops Customs clip on there. I like the clip. It works good for me. Super smooth. This one has gotten smoother and smoother the more I use it. Very, very cool. This was the first one I picked up. An awesome friend from the community was selling it, and they sold it to me. So can't be mad about that. And after I bought this one, I picked up this one. It's another 8020. This is in Grivery. But I'll tell you what, some of the thickest, strongest Grivery, you can't tell. There's not a difference as far as feeling. This one does not have the blade hole like that one does. So if you wanted to see what those two look like, this one's just a little bit lighter. And I want to say this one is also Crewwear. It's either Crewwear or 20 CV. I'm not sure. Still has a stock clip on it. This one hasn't gotten carried much, and this one will probably be the one I sell. I'm going to sell one of these two, and this is probably the one on the chopping block just because I have this one. So there you go. That is all the knives in my Nanook 915 case for this part 2 video. If y'all are enjoying it and continuing to watch it, I will keep on going, and we will get through all of these knives in my collection. Might take a little bit, but if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave them down below. I hope everybody's having an absolute wonderful day. I will see y'all on the next one. Peace.